We're breaking down the best times to go to Disney World in 2020. Whether you're looking for big happenings, low crowds, or great values, we're going to help you decide when you should go to Disney World this year. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. We're talking 2020 again. Today we're going to help you plan and figure out when the best times to go to Disney World are for you and your family this year. If you're already ahead of the game, have your Disney trip booked, we've got some tips on weather and ride closures and openings. But if you're still planning, we're talking festivals, crowds, and brand new attractions so you can decide when is the best time to go to Disney World in 2020. Now let's jump right in, take a look at late January and early February. This is always a great time to head to Disney as long as you aim for after the Run Disney Marathon and before the big President's Day weekend crowds. If you can hit that sweet spot, you'll likely see some of the lowest crowds in the parks the whole year. On top of that, winter in Orlando tends to have some pretty good weather, so there are fewer worries about rain, and most of the highs are going to be in the 60s and 70s. Pretty nice if you ask me. Now, despite what you might have heard about Florida, it isn't always warm, so bring those layers, hats, scarves, whatever. I can remember paying $50 for like a scarf or something because one day it was 80 and the next day it was 50 out there. So I have spent lots of money on warm clothing when I didn't plan ahead. So bring those hats, bring those scarves. You will be surprised what a big difference it makes to have a scarf. So just in case you hit that rare cold spike, make sure you have that stuff. Also, in the late winter time, you can head to International Festival of the Arts at Epcot. This is the newest of the Epcot festivals. It's focused on a celebration of all things art. So that's visual, performing, culinary. If it's a type of art, you'll probably see it at this festival. Now, here at the DFB headquarters, we have challenged each other to rank our favorite festivals, and Festival of the Arts is in my top 2. I'm going to let you guess what the other one is. I love this festival, and I think because it's still small, they really do pay a lot of attention to detail on this one. Now, it runs from January 17th to February 24th, just a little tiny festival, and it's a great way to eat some new eats, learn from artists at a variety of workshops, and even see Broadway performers in action at that America Gardens Theater stage. Now, January 17th is actually a big day for Epcot for a few reasons, which helps make that mid-January a good time to be in Disney World. The 17th is also going to welcome new films to the World Showcase. Canada Far and Wide debuts at the Canada Pavilion. Beauty and the Beast Sing-Along is going to start in the France Pavilion. Now, we've seen that one. We've got a review on the site, everything you need to know about that. These films are sure to be a cool new experience featuring the latest film and sound tech and ones that you probably don't want to miss in 2020. Who are we kidding though? There are two very big reasons that January and February is the time to be in Disney World and specifically Epcot. 2 new dining locations are projected to be open in the first couple months of 2020. First off, we've got Regal Eagle, which is going to be an awesome addition to the American Adventure Pavilion, serving some classic barbecue favorites. This one is not open yet, even though Disney said it was going to open last December. It really should be opening in the next few weeks, so we're looking forward to that. Also, we've got Space 220, and we're expecting this highly anticipated space-themed spot to open hopefully in February, but it may be pushed out a little bit later, so I'm going to be honest with you about that. This one might not open as soon as we want it to, but January and February is still a good time to go. And that's because of the Disney deal. So Disney's offering some great room-only discounts at the beginning of the year. Those can save you a good deal of money off your rack rate room if you're looking to book a last-minute trip. Now, January and February aren't for everyone. There are a few things you can't do in the winter months. If you're a fan of water rides, you might want to push your trip a little further into 2020 as both Splash Mountain, Kali River Rapids going to be closing for seasonal refurbishments. Splash is probably going to be down from January 6th to about February 27th, and Kali may be closed from January 6th to March 21st. Those dates always change and update, but that's kind of what the Disney website's showing right now. And there's another e-ticket attraction that's going to be MIA during this time frame. So if you're a big fan of Test Track, then you don't want to plan your trip between the 13th of January and February 26th. Another good time to head to Disney World is in the spring, just after spring break. So we're looking at late March, late April, and into May. Spring break goes on forever in Disney World because every school system has a different spring break. So it can go from February till the end of April, especially because Easter is so late this year. The time frame you're going to look at to get out of spring break is that end of March, end of April, beginning of May. Kind of look at that time frame. So avoid those spring break crowds, but come in time time to experience a couple of very highly anticipated attractions in Hollywood studios. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is opening on March 4th, so it'll have been open a few weeks by the time spring break crowds end. Of course, in conjunction with the first Mickey ride ever, the Mickey Shorts Theater will be debuting nearby, running those new Mickey and Minnie cartoons. If you're less into the new attractions and more into shows and entertainment, after spring break, we'll also see the opening of the brand new Cirque du Soleil show in Disney Springs called Drawn to Life. Cirque has awesome shows around the country, and this one celebrates the art of animation, so it's definitely a good point in favor of a springtime visit. After spring break is usually a good time for a lull in crowds. Now, with the opening of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, the crowds might be a little larger, especially in the studios. Still got Rise of the Resistance crowds there, so it's definitely not set to be the slowest time of year, but it likely won't be too overwhelming either. Still, much like the winter months, you're going to see some pretty nice weather. Florida's rainy season is really the summertime, so spring usually means milder temperatures and drier weather, but it can start getting hot there at the end of April, beginning of May. And don't forget, you can take advantage of that pretty weather at the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, which runs from March 6th to June 3rd this year. We love this festival, all the gorgeous topiaries around the world showcase. It really is one of the prettiest times to visit Epcot, and there's a ton of those fun festival eats. Lots of booths at this one, you guys. We actually have a whole DFB guide created to help you out with your visit to the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. You can go check that out on dfbstore.com. As for deals, Disney is running some room-only discounts, and there's 1 day left to book free dining. The free dining offer this year must be booked by January 16th, and the deal includes arrival dates June 27th and 28th, July 5th to the 7th, and August 29th to September 8th. And remember, it must be booked as part of a package with a full price room and park hoppers for everyone on the reservation in order to get the free Disney dining plan. One thing of note is that we could have some more ride closures as Disney World gears up for their big 50th anniversary. It's not confirmed, but there are a few dates when Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is unavailable. Stay tuned to DFB or sign up for our newsletter to get the latest news, and we do a post every week that tells you about the upcoming ride closures. After back to school season, this is the next great time to go to Disney World. The end of August and September should be a fun time in Disney this year as the revamp to the France Pavilion in Epcot will be complete, and we're expecting to see food and wine during this time frame again this year, the Food and Wine Festival. So what's entailed in the revamp of the France Pavilion? First off, there's going to be the opening of the e-ticket Remy's Ratatouille Adventure in summer 2020. Late summer will be an awesome time to try out that new trackless ride, although it will likely have some pretty lengthy lines. After your jaunt at Rat Size, you can dine French style at La Crêperie de Paris, which is also expected to open in the summer. And Food and Wine Festival usually opens in late August, so the fall is an awesome time to sip and eat your way around the World Showcase. This is Epcot's longest running festival, so the back to school season is a great time to catch the beginning of it. Now, as a downside, August and September can be so hot that it's debilitating in Orlando. Might be a little on the crowded side as well. Once students head back to school, there will be a bit of a lull, so you're not going to see too many crowds at all in that early September time frame. But you are right there in the middle of hurricane season, so the weather can be really crummy August and September. You can see hurricanes, potentially. You definitely are going to see hot, very, very humid weather, and you will see those daily thunderstorms that are going to hit every single afternoon. So be sure to grab that poncho and get ready for an unpredictable weather day. Halloween time can be really, really fun in Disney World though, and if you like the spooky season or just want a little twist on your usual Disney vacation, this can be an awesome choice. And remember, Halloween time starts in August in Disney World because the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party starts in August, and all of those Halloween treats come out in August. So that is a good time to visit if you love Halloween. Now, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party usually runs from August to sometime around Halloween, usually the day after or 2 days after. And the earlier dates are usually a little cheaper and a little bit less crowded. Save the first one. The first one's going to be crazy, but after that, it'll be a little less crowded. And last but certainly not least, one of my favorite times to be in Disney is right around the holidays. There's a sweet spot right after Thanksgiving and before Christmas crowds where Disney slows down a little bit, but you can still experience all the fun ways that they celebrate the season without having to battle your way through surging crowds of people. Festival of the Holidays in Epcot usually starts up in late November right after Thanksgiving and features storytellers around the world showcase, those Festival of the Holidays eats, and the iconic Candlelight Processional. Traveling during that between holiday lull means you can catch this festival without the massive crowds. The same goes for Flurry of Fun, which is the holiday event that we expect to return to Hollywood Studios this year. With the park finishing up its big additions in the spring, things shouldn't be as crowded as other parks, and you might finally be able to make it onto Rise of the Resistance or Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, or maybe even Slinky Dog Dash. There's typically a lull in crowds the week right after Thanksgiving. And of course, there's Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which is the awesome separately ticketed holiday event in Magic Kingdom. There are treats, special character experiences, fireworks, parades, ride overlays. This party just has everything, and going earlier in the season means you can catch some cheaper prices, hopefully some lower crowds. So there are our tips for the best times to go to Disney World in 2020 when things are opening, when you've got festivals, and when the crowds aren't quite so crushing as they are during the holiday season, the summer or spring break. Thanks for listening, you guys, and thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you subscribe. Just go ahead and hit that button, and then you can hit the notification bell so we can let you know when we put up a new video. And FYI, we put up videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So be sure to hold the time to watch those, guys. Thank you guys for supporting us here at DFB. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.